hope that you are all well and have had a great Easter. Back on live, and I just need to check that everything is working. Oh, yeah, that looks like we're on. Excellent. Just check that the sound is working. Yes, the sound looks good. So that's that one. I'll just give everyone a chance to join us as well and see what's happening. Let's have a look, see what's happening on Time for Tea. Make sure that's working. Yay! That's working too. Fabulous. I just like to double check. Hello Ashley, hi Julie, how are you guys today? I just like to make sure that everything is up and running before we get started. I've also got a brew with me today because that's much needed, and for some reason, although it's quite nice out and it's quite sunshiny, I feel very cold. Hello Emma, hi Lisa, hi Josh. Oh, I'm so pleased you guys can join us today. I've also got Rosie sat here next to me. Hello Rosie. Oh, she's very cute. She's just having a little clean next to me, keeping me company. One of these days I will get the camera set up so that I can show you her sat next to me. So today then, I'm good, Julie. Thank you for asking. I'm good. Have you all had a nice Easter break? We've had a lovely Easter break. I actually took a couple of days off, which is something that only really ever happens at Christmas. So it was nice to have a little bit of a rest. Although I feel worn out again this morning. I don't know why. Too much enjoying ourselves over the weekend, probably. Yes, we had a fabulous time. I hope you guys had a really good time as well. Do let me know what you got up to in the comments, and we'll have a little chat as we craft today. And let me know if any of you are crafting along. I would love to know what you guys are doing, or if you're at work and having a little sneaky peek. And let me know what you're all up to. Oh, lovely. Lovely cup of tea that I made for myself. So, today's plan, I have been itching to make something with our cafe critters for ages. So I am going to use this set today. I've not used them for ages. I don't think I'm going to use all of the set. I don't think I'm going to use the actual cafe itself. I think I'm just going to use the bistro set and then some of our little critters and the accessories. Because I'm going to do a mini slimline. So this is our mini slimline die set. It comes with the main die is the actual size and shape of a mini slimline. So you can use this one to size your card base and also create a map for the rest of your card. And then it comes with this internal stitched scallop layer, and then also this smaller scallop layer as well, so that you can layer that up on the inside. So I do have a little idea for doing something with that, a nice simple kind of a card, but with just maybe a sentiment in the middle, which would be really cool. But we shall come to that another time. Today's plan is to use the critters in our cafe critters. So what I've done beforehand, just to save a little bit of time, Julie says, the boys say hi, still Easter holidays here. Enjoyed some peace and quiet, made a couple of Easter cards, and then yesterday went to Secret World, an animal rescue centre near me which had open day to raise funds. Oh, that sounds lovely. That sounds really lovely, Julie. And hello to the boys. I hope you're behaving and letting your mum have some time crafting. Hi Jane, how are you? That sounds really lovely thing to do, that, Julie. So I have made myself a slimline, a small slimline card, and I used the largest die just to really just to size up what my card base would be. And then I've used that same die to cut out a piece of cardstock that will just sit on my card base. So because I've kind of drawn round my largest die, it is going to be slightly larger than the piece that I've cut out. So so that will leave a little white border around the outside, which I am more than happy with. But we could also cut this down slightly if we wanted to, which I might do. I might make it slightly smaller on one edge. I've also cut out the scalloped piece because that's going to create a frame on the inside of our card here. Now, I am considering topping this with some patterned paper. That was my original plan, and I think I might do that, although I do like the white, so who knows. And that also leaves us this inlay piece, and I may create my scene on this inlay piece because I think that will be really useful to do as well. And then we're going to build up our scene using our little critters. So let's just pop this away because I think I've pretty much finished with that for the moment. Although, like I say, I am considering, in fact, no, shall we do that now and see whether we like it? So what I've done is I've grabbed one of these, one of my paper pads. In fact, I've grabbed a couple of my paper pads. So I've got the Brighter Days paper pad, which has got some really lovely patterns in here that we could use for our scallop, and also the Joyful Winter, which I know is a winter set, but I think this works for lots of different times of the year. I particularly love these kind of gingham colours. So I was thinking maybe the pink would make a nice kind of background. I do like that. I'm partial to that, I have to say. Or the blue. But I think I'm going to go with the pink. I really like the pink. So there's two ways that we could do it. We could use it as a background, which does look quite cute, I have to say. Or we can use it as the actual scallop itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it and then we can decide. Simple as that. So is it slightly larger than my... Is my scallop piece slightly larger? I think it is. But only ever so slightly. So, sorry guys, I'm going to have to just blow my nose. I've got a little bit of a runny nose. Oh, Rosie's curled up and gone to sleep. She'll soon wake up when this die cutting machine starts. So, does it fit this way? No, it doesn't quite fit. So this is slightly longer, ever so slightly longer than my my paper. So that's okay because I've lined it up in the middle here. Use a bit of my washi tape and get a little bit more. And just pop that on the other side because I want to keep that nice and straight. And let's pop this through the machine. So Josh says he's playing with his scan and cut. Oh, I've been asking questions about scan and cuts, Josh. I need to know about the scan and cut because I am seriously considering purchasing one. So yes, let me know the model that you're using and what it's like for cutting out stamped images. I would love to know. Julie says the boys says they are behaving and playing Xbox at the moment. Oh, very good. Although I'm sure they would say that they were behaving. I think I need Mum's vote on that. JD says, hello, I've just stumbled across your live and I love all your colours. Oh, I'm so glad you could be with us, JD. Thank you for joining us. Tell us where you're from, where you're joining us from, and what you're up to today. What are you crafting, if anything? But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. I love it when we get new people. So yeah, so this is that scallop frame in the pattern, which I do quite like. So we can go for this as an option and then build our scene in the background, or we can go for this in the background and the white. But I think I want to play a little bit. That does look really pretty. I do love that. But I'm going to go with the other way around because I want to build a bit of a scene for my critters to live in. So this is my base, but now we need to create a little bit of a land for them to sit on. So we'll pop them to one side, pop these to one side. I always end up with about 6 inches to craft in when I get surrounded by everything. So we'll pop those away. For a moment. Oh. And I'm going to get some of my stencils out to create a little scene on this piece here. So this is my binder with my stencils in. Julie says they are behaving. The boys have done half an hour with the tutor this morning at home, so deserve some time on the Xbox. That sounds good then. I'm bought into that, Julie. Josh says the SDX 1200. It's great for cutting on scanned in stamped images, as it has a solid cut line. Great. JD says she's from England, just doing some quilling, which she hasn't done for 20 plus years, using some magazine freebies. Fabulous. I've not tried quilling myself, JD. You have the same initials as me, by the way, which is just throwing me right off. But because I think I'm talking to myself. But yes, and yeah, people who I used to work with used to call me JD. So yeah, I love that. I've like I said, I've never tried quilling, but I would love to. So I am just having a little look through my stencils here, just to see what I want to use to create my scene. And I think what I'm looking for in here is, I think I quite like the tiled wall, because I'm thinking I might make like a little cobbled street. Jane says, did I check out Marketplace? I did check out Marketplace, but I couldn't find any XDX versions. I found the CM900 and the CM300, but they're not the automatic blade, are they? And I feel like I need the automatic blade. So, oh, and this, my fluffy clouds. I feel like I want some fluffy clouds. So, just going to grab these two out of here. So yeah, so I need I think I need an XDX 1200. And was there another version kind of below that one? I can't remember. So let's have a little look here. So I'm going to grab my little stencil mat here and just pop that there so I can see it. And this is going to be my background. Now what I think I'm going to have to do is just have a look, see how tall my my images are, so that I'm lining these up correctly. Jane says, yes, definitely hold out for an SDX. Lisa says she loves her silhouette cameo and used it the other day to print and cut stamped images from TV Fit Pals, and you've got mail. fabulous. Jane says that she paid £300 for her second hand only about 18 months ago, and they're about 700 new. They are very expensive new, very expensive. I have seen that they do different offers on Create and Craft, don't they, which might be an option, and you can pay, buy now, pay later kind of thing. But I do like the silhouette cameo, Lisa, because I've got a silhouette cameo now, but it's a really old one. Like, I must have had it, goodness, I must have had it 8 years, maybe longer. So it's a really old version. It doesn't scan. The register lines do not work. The register points don't work, so it definitely needs an upgrade, without a doubt. So I was considering whether I just stick with the silhouette because I know it, and I don't want to pay a fortune. So my little bistro set is quite tall, but I don't mind if it kind of pops up a little bit. So we've got our little bistro set, and then we've got our little critters here. I'm just placing these wherever. I'm not really focusing on where they are, but just so that I can get an idea of where my road needs to be. And actually, I don't need a lot of floor based on that positioning, do I? So let's grab my little tiles here, and I think I probably only need a couple of lines here of that. So I'm going to put it with my heavy doodle tape here. Let me grab some of this. I've already got some that I've used. Sorry if I'm stood right in front of the camera there. So I've got some little pieces of this that I've already used. I can just secure this down and also mask off at the same time. So let's just pop that down there, and then let me think, what colour. I could go with grey, but I want more of a cobbly, stony colour, which is a little bit grey, isn't it? But let's have a look. Old paper feels a bit green. Frayed burlap. Should we try a bit of frayed burlap on a scrap piece of card? So I'll use my brown brush here. Yes, I think that's kind of the grey kind of cobblestone colour that I'm trying to achieve. So let's a little bit of this on here. And we can make a little cobblestone floor. And then we're going to do a little bit of a sky, nice sky. So that's all that takes. That didn't take much doing, and I'm not going to go mad with it because I want it to be quite subtle. So we can take off the masking tape, and then we've got our little bit of flooring. That's cute. So Josh got his from Craftelia. Oh, I've seen them there. And Lisa says, me too, I have the cameo too. So that's perhaps what I need to look for. Mine's a portrait. I've absolutely no idea. It's a silhouette cameo something from, the 1940s or something. It's from ages ago. It's so old. I'm surprised it still works. I mean, it's absolutely fine from that point of view. That's why I can't really that's why I've never been able to justify getting rid of it, because if I actually do want to cut anything like an SVG file or cut a file of my own, I actually used it to cut projects for my mum and dad's 50th wedding anniversary album that I made, and I love that album so much, and I really do need to do an actual flip through of it for you guys, I think, because I think you would really enjoy seeing that, because it is so lovely. And if you're into, you know, if, well, you don't have to be into memory keeping. If you want to make a keepsake for, you know, for your family members, or for yourself, I think it's a really great project to do. But I wanted to cut some large SVG files, that said happy anniversary, ready for the, you know, we had a party and everything as well. And it was perfect for that. It was so good. I've also used it to cut vinyls for making my own t-shirts and things. Works perfectly for that. But if I want to scan an image and then cut that scanned image, it just won't have it. So I may look for that. So and the Cameo 2 works well for that, does it? So I'll have a look, because they might be a little bit cheaper. Emma says she's got the CM300, but it doesn't have the auto blade, but you still love it. So is it a hassle changing the blade? Because I have to change the blade on the Cameo, to be fair. It's on the Silhouette. I would rather not, but if it's the case of spending, you know, a couple of £100 or £500, I'll change the blade, is my thoughts. So for my background here, I want to do some blue sky, and I'd quite like to try and match up the blue sky that we've got, but I think I'm going to struggle with that. So I think I'm going to use some tumbled glass, because tumbled glass works really well for skies, doesn't it? So let me get my nice blue brush. In fact, I might use my large brush for this, because we are covering a larger space. Which one's the lighter blue? This one's a lighter blue. For some reason I've got two blue brushes. I use lots of blue. So that is probably why. So let's get a nice covering of the tumbled glass on here. And I'm really silly, because I should just use the mat to hold my distressing, because it works a treat. So I have got brown on my my bit of tape here. So I don't want to really get that on my project. I don't want to blend that in, so I'm just trying to be a little bit careful. But I think we've done quite well there, so that's quite good. I'm going to pop that back on there. In fact, I'm going to turn it over, because the other side has got blue on it, and I don't mind if I get the blue. Let's turn that over, because I want this to be a little bit darker, because I'm going to do a little bit of ink blending schmutz of some white, which is going to struggle to show up on this blue, because it's not the brightest of blues. So let's see, that works lovely. So let's just try this on the back of there. Yeah, that's looking sweet, isn't it? Very sweet. A little bit of a background. So on the top of this, then, what I'm going to try and do is do a bit of ink blending in some white. Oh, if I can reach it. In fact, shall I use the Brilliance white, because that's got a bit of a shine to it. So I've got some pigment ink, some archival here, and this is in Moonlight White. This is very good for going on top of things that are a bit more you know, for giving you a bit more of an opaque colour. So I'm going to try and see if I can get this to go through here. Now, I do have a white brush, so let's give this a try. And let's see if we can get enough of this to show through. Did try and get some I was going to try and get some of the Distress Oxide white. I don't know if the picket, is it picket fence? I don't know how good that is going over you know, colours like this. I know that the Distress Oxides typically are good at they're a bit more opaque and they're quite good at going over each other, so that might work. I've never tried the white. White is tricky, so I'm just doing a couple of layers of this, laying it on quite thick. Like I say, I do want you to be able to see that white, and this has got a bit of a sheen to it, so hopefully it will show up. So let's see. Lisa says, have you tried upgrading the firmware and software? Did this a couple of weeks ago and brought a new PicScan mat. It seems to be registering fine now for scan and cut. So I have upgraded the firmware and software because it had a meltdown, actually, Lisa, about 12 months ago. It had a total meltdown on me, wouldn't work at all. So I had to fully reboot it, download the upgrade onto an SD card and then transfer it. So it has had a full, you know, upgrade, allegedly. Although it might need another one since then, because that was about, like I said, it was about a year ago. So, but I've not heard about the PicScan mat, so maybe that's what I need to do. And then I won't need a whole new machine. I had heard somewhere as well that the light, if you have a light under it or somehow, it helps register. I don't know how true that is. So I'm just going to get my my chamois ready to clean this. So let's lift this up. Oh, look at that. I've got little white clouds. Oh, that worked an absolute dream. So let me try and pick this up without putting my fingers in it. But look at those beautiful white clouds. And like I say, you might not be able to see, but they do have a bit of a shimmer to them, because this is it's called Brilliance Moonlight, so it's got a bit of a shimmer to it. Oh, I love how that's turned out. That's really, really cute. Okay, so pop that to one side and let's give this a little bit of a clean. Love it when a plan comes together, and that's really good advice, that, Lisa. I'm going to try and I'm going to have a look into that, because that might be the answer to all of my prayers. So yeah, I'm excited to try that, because we've got a number of different products coming up that I think you guys will be interested in, that may need a cutting machine of some sort. So so yeah, so I'm excited to share that with you when that's up and running, but I obviously need to be able to test them myself, which would be helpful, wouldn't it? So let's pop that down. I think we're done with this now, so let's get rid of this. I did have a little elastic band that tied that together, but I've lost that as well. Right, let's grab some of my stamping card here. I've got a few little scraps of stamping card, and I can see here I've already stamped out my little bunny, so we might utilise him. And I'm going to get my stamping platform at the ready also. Here we go. So let's pop these, pop that back up there. And I've got my little background, which is looking really cute. Okay, so let's grab a bit of my stamping card. That looked a different colour, didn't it? So I keep all of my scraps because we're only ever really stamping small images, so I don't see the point of getting rid of it, because they look the same, don't they? There we go. So let's try these, because I want to stamp stamping the bistro set first of all. So I'm going to stamp these little guys on here first. Oops, come on. And one of these days I'm going to crack open my new memento ink instead of persevering with this one that's you know, I think it's at its moment, but still seem to manage to get it all over my fingers. So Lisa says the pic scan mat is great. You just put your sheet of stamped images on the mat, take a picture with your phone and upload it to the Silhouette Design Studio. Oh, what a great, oh, I understand. Ashley says, I noticed the cloud stencil is out of stock at the moment. Will there be more coming in? Yes, we will be getting more of them, the fluffy clouds. Yes, I'm sorry, I didn't realise they were out of stock. I try not to use things that are out of stock when we're doing this. But the fluffy clouds, I just had to. So yes, we will be getting more of those. Oh, I need to get this pic scan mat and give it a try, don't I then, Lisa? So that I understand. I guess it means that you are it's taking it as an image rather than looking for the registration lines. I don't know. But yeah, I like that idea. So let's thank you for that. That's been really, really helpful, because I think there's no harm in me trying that first, is there, before I invest hundreds of pounds in you know, a brand new machine. Why not try that first? So yeah, thank you for that. That's really, really good. So what other little embellishments do I want here? I love this croissant. I have to have the croissant. Coffee and a croissant, anyone? Yes, please. Yes, please. Oh, I could have fit another little thing on the other page. Coffee, croissant. So we're going to have a little doggy. We've got the cup. We could do with having some, maybe a little bun, and then I might put the other little cup on the other piece. So let's get rid of these, and I'll use the other scrap for the final piece. So we've got a little bit of colouring to do. I'm excited. So I know Julie made a few Easter projects. She said, what about the rest of you guys? Did you make many Easter projects? I feel like I've made quite a few Easter projects actually this year, which is unusual for me. I don't normally do that. Oh, I don't think that's in the right place. Oh, maybe it is. We'll try it. Oh yeah, that was fine. My memento is definitely very dry, which is why I'm having to stamp it numerous times to get a decent impression. But I'm just being tight and lazy. Well, it's not really saving me anything, is it, by not opening a new one, because I'm having to stamp it a dozen times. It's not that one I want, is it? Now then. I don't know whether to do my lamppost, because I do think my lamppost is super cute. I think I did have a lamppost already pre-stamped. I should have a look, really. But I feel like it might be a bit too tall, but it doesn't matter if it kind of goes off the page. Don't mind too much. Just helps create that scene, doesn't it? This is a lovely break, by the way. I'm absolutely loving this, because I first day back at work after the Easter break, and what is the job that I've woken up to have to do? Maths, accounting, awful, awful, awful stuff to have to be doing after you've had a little bit of a break. So this is a great excuse not to be doing it. I'd much rather be doing this than doing that. So I'm very pleased to be doing this for definite, because I'm going to have to go back to it afterwards. I've got a few orders to do, but then once I've done that, and Aunt's going to help me with that. Once I've done that, it's back to maths. Oh, so boring. There are lots of things about this job that I absolutely love, but that is not one of them. Lisa says she bought her mat from YOLO. They're $14.99. Oh, well, thank you so much for that. That's so helpful. Thank you. See, this is why I love this crafty community, because everybody's so helpful. You guys are so good. I'm definitely getting one of those today. That is my mission. Jane says she didn't make too many, but the Easter bunny did leave some cute Time for Tea bunny builder tags on my girl's Easter basket. Oh, that's cute. I love that. And Julie says Harry made a bunny up and stuck it together with rainbow washi tape and gave it to his teacher. Oh my god, that's so cute. I love the fact that our little bunnies are out there in the world multiplying as bunnies do. Jay says, but no crafty time over Easter, as you were potty training your 2-year-old, so I was watching her like a hawk for 4 days. Oh my goodness, that sounds rough, Jane. That does sound rough, I have to say. So hopefully it was successful though. Successful training. Right then, let's get some colouring done, shall we? I'm trying not to make this too long and too painful, because I know obviously colouring can sometimes take a while. I'm just going to grab a bit of scratch paper here, because I like to just pop a bit of paper underneath, just to protect my work surface, and also it's quite helpful for testing out bits. But you can see I've already used this bit of cardstock here for that. But oh, can you bear with me one moment? I do have somebody at the door. One moment. Hello? Yeah, is it alright to just leave it on the doorstep? Is that okay? Thank you. I had a little delivery turn up. Don't know whether I dare leave it on the doorstep. What do you think? Okay, so in fact, I am just going to run down and get it. It was, and she was ace. Oh, well done. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm back. Oh, Rosie, sorry I woke you up. Woke up Rosie. Isn't that just typical that the postman comes when you're on a live? Okay, let's colour this little set up now. So I've got some of my my markers actually in a little pocket at the moment, keeping them all in here, just because I've been working on some projects. Been working on the new release, which is coming soon. Fingers crossed. Deliveries make their way to us soon. So I've been working on I've been colouring in some images for that. But also we're going to Harrogate to the Stamperama event on the 1st of May. Yeah, the 1st of May. So I'm just preparing all of the colours that I might want to take with me. So I've got them all stacked up and ready to go, which is handy. So it's handy having this little case. Makes it a little bit easier for me to transport, and I can see all the colours that I've got. So for our little scene here, oh, I love these clouds. I'm a big fan of these clouds. So I like to have my little scene there, and then from a colour palette perspective, I do find it useful to have the colours from the paper pad as a little bit of a jumping off point, because I know that they are going to match the colours that I've used already. So I might have that just to one hand, just to help me. It just helps me make decisions, because I'm really rubbish at making decisions. See, this striped bit of paper is absolutely gorgeous, and I think that I'm going to use that as my kind of colour palette. So some pinks, reds, blues and some greens I think are going to look really, really nice, really fresh. So I think that this little patio set is going to look really cool in those green shades. So let's have a look. I've got a bit of green here, a bit of YG23. Shall I zoom in a little bit? Let's have a look. So Julie says, Harry's asking, have you set a date for the next in-person classes at Time for Tea? We haven't, you know. A couple of reasons why, really. We've noticed that locally it's a little bit more difficult. We weren't getting the numbers that we thought we would, so we're thinking we're possibly going to do online classes instead, because a lot of you live further out and missed out on the live classes, so we would love to do more classes, and we think that maybe the online is the way to go. So I'm just going to add a little bit of green. Now I think I'm going to do green, dark green, and then I like this pink, this pinky shade, which matches with this. So let's go with a darker green. I like this 16. Let's try this. There's a darker green. Just getting some base colours down here. Mixing a G shade and a YG shade there, which is probably never the twain shall meet, but I don't mind that too much. I could go with I think a lot of the YG shades tend to go a little bit more more of a grey colour in the end, more of an olive colour. Rather than this kind of a bit more of a like an alpine kind of a green was what I was thinking. So pink. So the pink. Is it the R21 maybe? Where's my R22? Maybe that's a bit too peachy. What's this colour here? That's quite a nice colour, isn't it? R32 and an R35. Yes, I think that's the way to go. So there's quite a big gap between these two, so I might have to do a little bit of tip to tip, which we've not done for a while. So I'm just using some of this red ink actually, just to, so it's not even really tip to tip, I'm just literally picking the ink up there. I think I do like that effect. And then we've got this more of a teal colour, and on my colour chart, let me grab my colour chart. So I'm just playing here. I said I was going to make this quick and painless, and I'm making it quite painful, I feel. Oh, BG57 looks quite close. I quite like that colour. BG57 with a BG13. BG57 and BG13. Have I got a BG14? So these don't look too close to each other, but they work. And this is just a bit of a different colour scheme that I wouldn't have perhaps ordinarily have thought of, but I'm liking it so far. So far, so good. So I'm going to go back to my pink. So Jane says that the R22 and R20 would work, and I think she's absolutely right. I think they would. Definite. I'm into this pop of pink. Definitely. Just lift it a little. And then we're back to the darker green shades on this side. One thing that you guys know, I love to colour, and I've spent a good amount of time colouring in my images for the new release, and I've absolutely loved it. Julie says, how many people ideally do you need to make a class run to be cost effective for you? Well, really we could do with filling the 8 seats that we have. That would be ideal. But the great thing about an online class is there is no limit, so we could have as many people as we like for that. So I'm thinking then now, let's go with, I was wondering whether to do green chairs or these, a pop of the teal, just to bring that in. So I think I'm going to do that. I was considering doing them in green, but I think the teal is going to bring that all together, because we didn't use much of it in the shade. So this is the BG57. I'm just going to quite quickly just add this on here. A little bit of shading along the bottom, a little bit on the seat there. Nothing too fancy. One of the things when we went to the last show, I was doing some demonstrating there, and there was some ladies who were quite new to colouring with their markers. I often forget, that people are new to that, and it was really interesting to be able to show them that sometimes it has to look worse before it looks better, which is, that is a true true fact. Sometimes it starts off looking a little bit ropey and you think, oh no, what have I done here? But actually, once you've got your final layers down and you layer it up, that's when it really starts to come together. So I'm going to do my lamppost in grey. And just keep it quite neutral. And I like to use cool greys for things that are metal, or I'm trying to give the illusion of metal, because it could also be maybe a wooden post, and this could be a painted lamppost. But I'm going to leave a lighter bit down the middle there, and lighter in the middle there, just to give again the illusion of a little bit of shape and a little bit of dimension. So the point of the Copic brushes does help with this, because you can get right into those smaller spaces. Another really neat trick for which you'll have seen me do loads of times for your colouring is adding a white Jelly Roll pen to create your highlights. That's really good. It's quite forgiving in that it you know, if you've made any mistakes or you think that your colouring isn't 100% perfect, a few little white highlights and white lines covers all of that up. So and just makes it look really I don't know, it gives it much more of a graphic feel, which I really like that effect. So we're going for a wooden tabletop, and you see what I'm doing here is that I'm kind of looking for things that are going to be a similar colour that I can colour at the same time. So I'm using E31, I'll use some E33 here as well, and I'm just going to go from the centre and out, and then either side there, and then for my croissant, how cute is that little croissant though? These little images, I absolutely love them. The size of them, how cute they are. You know, you can use them for so many different things. E35, there must be an E35 in here somewhere. There it is. So I'm just going to use the E35 just to darken some areas. Just so it doesn't look too anemic. It's looking a little bit pale. So that's that. Okay, so next then is add a little bit of blue behind our lamp there. It's not going to have any colour as such because it's daytime, but I'll just add a little bit of light around the bottom there. Just picking out some random colours of yellow here, just to give that a little bit of a glow. Julie says I could possibly fill half the places if the date works. Then if dates also work for Alison and Oscar, plus you're sure others that came to the last one would be up for another class. It's just a long way for some of you to travel, I know. So, but I do appreciate that, and we will definitely look at some dates because I do want to do another live class. We've also still got penciled in a day in October to do a full day's retreat style class. So that obviously will be a little bit more expensive, but it's worth the journey, and there will be more provided and food, and it'll be a full day's event. So if you do have to travel a little bit further, it's worth the effort, isn't it? But I'm still waiting for some prices on that so that I can let you guys know. So for some of my accessories, then I've got my colour scheme here with all of my markers. So I'm going to use some of these to colour in some of these little accessories. So this little cat can have a green mug, and then so we've got a light green mug here. Cute. And then I'll just blend those edges in. That's all. And then I think we'll have a pink mug. Just there. And I'm going to say pink icing on my muffin here. And we'll do a little bit of colour along the bottom of these and around the sides. Just blend that in. And the same on top of our little muffin. And then I'm going to go in for a bit of a deeper red cherry on top. In fact, I might use this deeper red just to make a little straw on there because I can. And then for my coffee colour, let's have it's either a coffee or a tea. Let's pop that. That was an E23, and I'm just going to go in with an E25 just to darken that up a little bit. It looks a little bit like a coffee or a tea, either or. For the base of this cupcake, I'm going to go with green, and I'm going to go with some green on this as well. There we go. Excellent. And then for the centre, in fact, let's go with, did I put that pink back? I did. Let's put a bit of pink on there, but I'm going to go with a bit of a paler pink. Should I go with pink around the centre or red? Oh, I might go with red actually. Just so it stands out a little bit. Yeah, that's better. And then the R37, just to deepen that red a bit. So that's all of our accessories done. I hope that's okay, guys. Emma says she's on holiday in October on the date she said. Oh no, what a shame. See, this is it. It's so hard to please everyone, and you know, we can only do. I guess we can only do what we can do. So, what colour doggy shall we have? I think I'm going to do maybe a black and white spotty doggy. Let me have a look. What have I got in here? Yeah, I'm going to do. So I normally do like brown dogs and things, but I think I'm going to do this guy here. A bit of a few like little spots. That's cute. I like it. I do like to colour in critters, I have to say. One of my favourite things to colour. So, and you know, how nice to be able to get a bit of time colouring in. I think he'll have a dark nose, won't he? And then I should have got a darker shade of this. She says. What did I do? There should be an N7 somewhere. Of course, I cannot find it. Cannot see for looking. There it is. Right in front of my eyes. So a bit of N7 just in the centre of all of these patches will just help me darken them up a little bit. So it's almost black, but not quite. I'll blend that back out. So is there anybody out there who thinks they might be going to the Harrogate show? I know some of you guys live a little bit further out, don't you? But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that because Harrogate is a bit closer for us, so it means we don't have to stay away for the night. So Rosie will be happy about that. Although I do think she likes being spoilt by our cat sitter when we're away. So yeah, so she'll be sorted, bless her. And it's a really good show as well. Let's try. I'm looking for a really kind of pale pink here because I like to add a little bit of pink to the cheeks, but I don't want it to be too rosy. So that's my little doggy. So I'll just give you a little bit of a closer look at these. They're looking really cute so far. And for my cat, what should we do for my kitty cat? I think my kitty cat is going to be, I'm going to keep them fairly neutral, I think, these guys, because otherwise we're going to be, there's going to be too many colours. So, what colour shall we do? I might do the cat in grey, in a warm grey maybe. A little grey kitty cat. So I'm just adding the, sorry, that's the warm grey 0. I'm going to stay stood up. And she says it's a bit far for you, but I'm flying to the UK that day is going to do Sandown. Ah, right. Oh, is that a crafting live one, that Angie? Warm grey 3. Let's try warm grey 3. So we're doing the crafting live one in July. For some reason I feel like I want to leave his paws white. No, they're not fully white, but maybe not. And then a bit of warm grey. That was warm grey 3. So just a bit of warm grey 5. And I do like Doncaster That was our first ever show, was at Doncaster, so got good memories of doing the Doncaster shows. Okay. A little bit of depth to him there. I always like to keep the faces a little bit paler, just so that you can see their features. And then I'll just add a little bit of this pink to the cheeks while the ink is still a little bit wet, so that just helps. Oh, and to his nose. In fact, I feel like he probably should have a dark grey nose. What was it? It was warm grey, wasn't it? Oh, itchy eyeball. Do you ever have an itchy eyeball? Can't find the warm grey. Well, I don't think it matters. I might just use just a darker grey in the neutral to give him a little black nose. Lisa says she's hoping to go to Craft Drama in Harrogate in September and lives in Turriff, Aberdeenshire. That seems a very long way away. So, oh, excuse me while I blow my nose again. Yes, so the one in September, I can't even remember because the date's changed on it, is a 2-day event now. So again, very excited about that. I've not done a 2-day event with them guys before, so I think for this one we're going to go with some E40 shades now. I know that one of my E40s is a little bit on the dry side, but I love this combination for critters. So this is the E40, so let's move that there for you so that you can guys see. So I'm going to just add a layer first of all of this everywhere. I also like to use the E40 for shading. It's very useful for that as well, for shading things that are meant to be white. So a bit of 42 now, because my 41 has had to be banished for being too dry, so I need to replace it. And then E43 is the final colour, just for some final bits of shading. Lovely. I feel like this one's might be on its way out. It seems a bit bleached just there. I don't know whether that's just because I've been storing them a different way. Maybe because normally I have them stored horizontally. Like I say, for the purposes of going to the shows, it makes more sense to do it this way. So I do think that the little guy would probably have a darker nose again, wouldn't he? So let's just give him a little bit of a darker nose. There we go. So that took a bit of colouring. Hope you guys are all still with me. Let's pop all of these away, and let's get these die cut, because then we can start assembling. Then we're pretty much there, aren't we? Because we've got all of our cute images already. So the coordinating dies, got all of the dies that we need here. So we've got the chairs, we've got the bistro table. 10th to the 11th of September. Lisa, you're on it with all of the links today. You're a superstar. I love it. We've got all of the little critters. Oh, I love this set so much. I love all of the little critters, all of the little accessories. I've not done my sentiment yet, actually, because I think I want to use the sentiment that's in the set. Because the let's catch up, I think, is really useful. I love having sets that have sentiments that are more than just happy birthday, you know, ones that you can send for other occasions, just to say hi, because I think they're the ones that I am more likely to send. I know we all have birthdays and things that we're going to make cards for, but I think I like to send cards to my family to just say hi and hello, and I'm definitely arranging a bit of a catch up with my mum and dad this month, so I might send this to them because I know they would appreciate this. And this could be the three of us going for a little coffee or a cup of tea. Yes, I'd be having a cup of tea. I would be partial to the croissant, definitely. My dad would be having a coffee, and possibly the bun. My mum would be just having probably a cup of tea. No, she'd be having a cappuccino, actually. She's partial to a cappuccino, but she doesn't really do sweet stuff, so yeah, she won't have had any Easter eggs this year because she doesn't really like the sweet stuff. Isn't that bizarre? Oh, I've not done the little top of my I'll do it after. I forgot to colour the top of the umbrella there, so we need to do that. And then this little. So what I'm conscious of here is I need to make sure that these little guys don't move around in my machine, because I'm going to use my big machine to put them all through at once, which is handy for that purpose, most definitely. So I like to make sure that they are, you know, nicely secured with a couple of pieces of washi tape, just to make sure they're in place. Angie says she misses nipping to Harrogate when the shows are on. Yes, it would have been far more convenient for you at home, wouldn't it? So, who was going on holiday as well? Because Emma, you're going on holiday. Are you going somewhere nice in October? That's what I want to know. I want to know about people going for some nice travels, whether it's UK or abroad, but just going on some nice jaunts that we've not been able to go on for such a long time. It's nice to know that people are getting out and about. We've got our first holiday, proper holiday, for a while in June. Oh, things falling out the back. So yeah, so we're going away in June, and this was booked long before COVID. So I would say that we've probably been waiting for this for about 2.5 years. This holiday, maybe longer. Yeah, maybe longer. So I feel like it's now getting close enough that it may actually happen, because there was a period of time where I wasn't sure if we would ever go on this holiday. Right, let me get that out of the way, and let's pop these little guys out. And hopefully I've lined them up okay. Oh my goodness. Look at the cute little cat. I'll zoom back out again when I've popped all these out, but I think it's worthwhile staying a bit close while we just pop these out. And I like to have my magnetic sheet on hand, just so that I don't lose any of my bits, because you don't want to lose any of your bits. Some of the dies are quite small. Whee. Little cup. And then we've got the second of those sweet chairs. And then our little bistro set. Oh, so adorable. So, Jane says they're doing Disneyland Paris next month. Oh gosh, I'm so jealous. I would love to do Disneyland Paris or America. I don't really mind which one. I would love to do them. Both I think are probably going to be mega expensive, and tiring. But I think it's definitely a bucket list item for me. That definitely. I've done Florida and the Universal Studios, but we never did Disney. We couldn't afford to do both, so we had to pick one. So we did Universal Studios, which I loved. It was amazing. But this is like, oh God, a million years ago. So it will all have changed now, I'm sure. So there are all of our lovely little die cuts. Lisa says she's hoping to do Long Island, Long Island, in New York in June to celebrate his son getting American citizenship. Oh wow! And my daughter-in-law graduating. Oh, how fantastic! Let me just zoom out a little bit. There we go. That's better, isn't it? And Julie says her and the boys are going to Haven, Devon Cliffs at the end of May, beginning of June. So there for the Jubilee. I do keep forgetting about the Jubilee, you know. So let's pop this together. What shall I do first? Let me scoop up my bits. Scoopity scoop. And scoop those up there. And let's put my card itself together. I think this will be a good place to start. Grab my glue. I'm going to use my big daddy glue for the base. So, because I think we may have to cut down our base slightly, we said, didn't we? So, oh, I've got a bit bunged up there. Maybe. Come on. Yeah, a bit bunged up. My big daddy one doesn't normally get bunged up. Better. Okay. No, that's made it worse, in fact. Heavens. Glue issues. Always glue issues, isn't there? Come on. Out you come. So when the whole lot plops off. It's got a bit of a blockage. Doesn't want to come out. Right. I might have to deal with that later. Yeah, I can see it's coming. It's coming. Yay. There we go. I knew it would get there eventually. Okay, so I'll just have a little bit of a spread of that around. And then I'm going to secure the top of that because I don't wish for it to be. So I'm lining this up. So I've got an equal amount of space around the outside. Got a few gluey fingerprints on it now. And then we can trim off this end, which is what I'm going to do, but I'm going to just put my lid on that so that we don't ruin that again, don't block that again. And then I'm going to just pop this into my trimmer here and line this up and just trim the edge off that, and that's perfect. And then let's put these two bits together because these are going to look cool. And I think I'm going to pop these up on some tape as well. So, and I might actually use my Big Daddy again. Just to make sure we're getting enough. Here. There we go. Away. Now this is slightly smaller than my piece of cardstock, if you remember. So we will just trim that down as well. So I'm going to use my paper scissors just to snip off the excess there. The reason that I've done this, the reason that I've used the cardstock to back it, is just to make it a little bit more rigid, a bit more, give it a bit more stability, because the paper, obviously the paper is paper. And although I'm going to pop it on some of our foam tape, it is still going to benefit from having that support from the cardstock. So I'm almost at the end of my little bit of tape here, that this scraggy end of tape that you've seen me wheel out many a time, but it's our Time for Tea tape. I absolutely love it, so I've used every last bit of it, and I love it. It's the best tape I've ever used. If you've not used our tape, I would seriously suggest trying some. If you try the shaker tape first, the wide tape is exactly the same tape, but obviously in a wider version, and is amazing for making, for supporting the kind of the backs of your cards. Oh, I've got a bit of glue smudge on my background, but I think we may cover that up. You won't be able to see it anyway once this is done. So I'm going to pop my background in first. Now this is a great border as well for doing an actual shaker card. So yeah, that would be a good shout. So excuse me while my head pops into view. And that's the little border. And then we can pop our background inside that aperture. So it will fit in there. Just needs a little bit of a smoosh. So before I smoosh it, I'm going to add some glue. And I'm adding the glue directly to the background, so that when I pop my cardstock in, I don't rub glue all over my background, because that is definitely what I would do. And I've got gluey and inky fingers now, so that's definitely what would happen. So just slotting that into place. Make sure that pushes down, fits in our background. Yeah. How sweet is that? And the liquid glue obviously gives you that little bit of wiggle room to be able to maneuver it around. So now we've got a little background with our shiny fluffy clouds. Emma's in Scotland for the Jubilee. So let's just have a figure out where we want our little characters to sit. And chair there, little chair there. Oh, how cute. Little doggy. Little kitty cat can sit there. And then I think the little dog can hang on to his croissant. There maybe. Very cute. So cute. Let's move that up a little bit. What do we think to that little arrangement? That's very cute, isn't it? Yes, quite like that. So some of these will sit directly on the background. So for example, the little, I think this lamppost is going to be a good idea to pop flat against the background there. Move him up a little bit. Cute. And I'm going to just take my little dog here. I'm going to add a little bit of glue to his paw there and pop the croissant to hand like so. And the same here with the little bunny. I think we'll add his little cup there. Might go with that way round. That might fit better. You can have this in his little paw instead. There we go. And then these two going to sit in there. That's cute. Love it, love it. Okay, so I think I'm going to pop this down flat in the background as well. So again, I'm just going to use some of my liquid glue. And we've got one little chair there, haven't we? So this can fit just nicely there. Oh, and I still haven't done the top of that, so let's just grab a bit of grey just to fill that in. There we go. And then the two chairs can go on flat as well. Chair number one. Oh, chair number two. And then I think my little critters I'll add on with a bit of foam. Just make sure there's enough room here for them to sit. Yeah, works. So, and then a bit of foam. having too much fun now. Keep forgetting to speak. Sorry. Too much fun. Too much fun putting this together. That's the hardest thing sometimes, is that when you're crafting live and crafting away, get in the zone and you forget that people are watching you. Because you're just having too much fun. Onto there, and then some for the little cat, I think, as well, just to make the little kitty stand out a little bit from the background. And let's put these guys on here, and then I'll stamp out my sentiment. And just popping these guys up just helps them stand a little bit away from, so it doesn't matter if they're overlapping anything a little bit, because they will stand a little bit proud of everything. So cute. Oh, a few little smudges here and there. So cute. And then the sentiment, we've got let's catch up. Oh, that could have gone really quite cute there, couldn't it? Obviously we're not going to get that in there now, but a bit of cardstock here, and I have my acrylic block here, and I think I will just stamp it in Memento. Let's see what this looks like. I was thinking about maybe stamping it in a colour, I think we'll go with it just as is. Stamp it onto there. Lovely. And then we do have coordinating die for this. So if we line that up nicely. And I am just going to grab my little machine here and pop this through super quick. And we might be able to fit that in that slot. If not, no worries, because we can always pop it so that it's just overlapping, like just on there, which looks quite cute. Or we can have it in the background, or we could have it at the bottom there. Oh, I think at the bottom probably stands out a little bit more. I did quite like the idea of it being up there in that little space. What do we think? What do we think? At the top or at the bottom? Give me your votes. Feels kind of like it was meant to be somewhere. So let me just pop some of this shaker tape on the back of here. A little too wide, or just right. It's just right. So we could either pop it there. I think I'm going to, oh, top. Lots of votes for top. Lots of votes for top. On the border or in the background? I'm going to go in the background. I'm going to go in the background. So cute, probably the top. It feels like it's just meant to be there, doesn't it? Like that space was just meant to happen. So I'm just going to use my tweezers to help me get that in place. I'm just going to pop it in that space because it feels like that's where it's meant to be. And then final little finishing touches, as always. I'm going to just zoom in a little. There we go. Let's do a little bit of highlights. As we mentioned, highlights are great for helping you show you know, where you've perhaps not been able to add the highlight because it's a small space. So and just gives you a little bit of a more graphic finish. Cute, 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 cute. And we'll have a few onto the umbrella here. Adding these little dots is probably one of my most favourite things to do. A few stripes along there, a few along the bottom of there. Oh, love it, love it. Just finishes it off so nicely. I like to add a few little dots to where whiskers would be in place of whiskers. A few little dashes on there. And I think that that's pretty much it. Also, I have my trusty glaze pen here. I'm just going to just wipe off. They get a little bit, can get a little bit of a skin on them if they, you know, when you've not used them. I like to add some highlight to the eyes, also to noses if they've got dark noses, then that's always a nice little finish. It just makes them really bright and pop. And then can have a little closer look at the finished article. Oh my goodness, I love that. So cute. I'm really happy with how that's turned out. I think that's such a cute little scene. And I've so enjoyed making it. Love that. And I love the little mini slimline size. I think the mini slimline size is so sweet. It's really nice. You don't feel too overawed by the amount of space that you've got to fill. And these little characters fill it up so nicely. So there we go. That's our card finished for today. I hope you liked that, guys. I hope that was all right for you. Thank you so much for joining me and watching today. I've loved that break from doing my maths. I'm not looking forward to going back to doing it. I wish I could find something else to colour and do this all day. It would be so cool. But I hope that's inspired you to do create a little scene with your cafe critters today, using some of your patterned papers as well and your stencils. We will be back, or I will be back, on Thursday evening for some more crafting live. So I don't know what I'm going to be doing yet, so if anybody's got any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments and let me know what you'd like to see me craft next. But I've got plenty of ideas and plenty to choose from, so I can't wait to do that with you on Thursday. Have a fabulous rest of your week until then, and I shall see you all really soon. Thanks for joining me, guys. Thank you so much for all of the lovely comments as well. I really, really appreciate it. Love it so much. Thank you. Thank you, guys. See you.